Everyday superpower, where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Yes, no. Game is uncommon knowledge. Game is intelligence, social intelligence in particular, if not the esoteric. And what I'm going to teach you today is something people, an idea people daren't even conceive because they're so scared of it. I think it's because it's a dint to the masculine ego. I'm going to tell you, it's not a bad thing you're in the friend zone. If anything, I would say being in the friend zone is actually quite valuable to you in the grand scheme of things. When you're in the friend zone, right, she sees you as everything she would want in a partner, but she's just not sexually attracted to you. So you can engage with her in a realistic manner, in a comfortable manner, in a vulnerable manner that you wouldn't really be able to get from anyone else you weren't in the friend zone with. If she perceives you as a friend and enjoys your time and company, and don't get me wrong, you're in the friend zone because at one point you wanted to get in her pants, right? But at some point you're going to have to allow yourself to accept defeat and say, it didn't work out, that's fine, yeah? You can now utilize her as far as the triangulation is concerned, as far as showing other women you're of no threat, because that's like the biggest vet that women in your life need to do to ensure that you're not potentially threatening. They need to do some degree of background check with you, all the shit tests they do to work out who you are and so on and so forth. If you're like openly good friends with a woman, especially who is of some social caliber, so she's a half decent, good looking girl, then you have bypassed so much of their vetting mechanism purely by being friends with that person. She sees someone, as in that third party sees somebody who mirrors her, reflects her, is her, and that is the feminine, engaging with you, the masculine, in such a casual, confident, comfortable way. It goes to show that you aren't of a serious threat because you don't see weirdos in these positions engaging with good-looking women on this friendship frequency. So it's good. It's good to be seen as someone who can engage thoroughly with women. Now, as I said initially, she believes you have the qualities of that which would make a good partner. Just, she's not sexually attracted to you. So you can communicate with her with the intensity, with the depth, with the fascination that only those in committed relationships can do. And she is incredibly vital to you because you can now learn the woman. You can now learn the perspective of the woman. You can now learn how she perceives things, who she's interested in, why is she interested in them. And you must take it with a pinch of salt. You know, you must still decipher the message that's been sent, but you're going to get a transparency within your communication that you wouldn't have got from a woman who wasn't in that position, who was a little more defensive, who was a little more, still had a few more tests to run you through. Not only that, but if you're engaging with another woman who actually was sexually interested in you, she's going to act and sort of create a smoke screen as to where that woman who was safely put you in the friend zone isn't gonna. She's going to be open with you and understand where you both stand. where do we go from there? One moment. So where we go from there is, you can go on YouTube and listen to people like me. You can go on YouTube and listen to a podcast that speak on, anything to do with relationships and whatnot. And if it's men telling you the way it is, yeah, there may be some degree of knowledge that backs that information, but it's not straight from the source. And when it comes from the source, there's less potential for it to be watered down with misinformation or translated in an incorrect manner. So when you hear women talk to you about who they like in confidence, why they like them in confidence, what they do day to day, why they do that, what they're interested in, that is going to be of better benefit to you than listening to a man who may or may not actually know. You don't know. You don't know whether this guy's just running game on you to sell a course. It becomes a better fountain of knowledge for you to assess and reassess your communication with the feminine. Real talk, and you should find interest in that. The idea that you can both communicate over relationships in a way that isn't, shrouded with sexual tension creates a great space for the man and the woman to learn. And in particular, it'll be you learning off of her. It's your imperative, She might want to talk about reality television, but, you're interested in what you're interested in. That's why you're watching this video. And that note, I'm signing out, people. Click like and subscribe. Peace.